Best UPM Inno-Creative Educator under the Alternative Assessment Category 2019. And he won a special award for Teaching and Learning Excellence, Faculty of Engineering UPM 2018. Now, he really put an effort to come up with his presentation. And without further ado, I hand over this session to you, Dr. Salah. All over to you. All right.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sabrina. A good friend of mine and my colleague also in the PutraMOOC quality control team. We work together in trying to improve our UPM's PutraMOOC courses. We've seen a lot of good online courses that are being offered out there. And we have seen also some of our lecturers are really, enthusiastic, bersemangat, spiritful dalam membangunkan kursus-kursus MOOC untuk UPM. So today's presentation is about MOOC, but mainly it's about video-based education. I'm not going to touch so much on the education theory or the multimedia theory on that, but what we are going to look at today is the best practices around the world on how to develop your online courses, videos for learning or videos as a learning object, the practices by the industries out there, Coursera, EDX, Masterclass, and hopefully we can learn something there, and then hopefully we can get some ideas on how to create another MOOC course or improve our existing course, even if it's not MOOC, even if it's for our classes, our normal classes. Hopefully this will be beneficial for you also. So let me start by sharing my screen here. And can I get Dr. Sabrina's confirmation if you can see the screen and you can see some scribbling here?
Yes, I can see the screen now.
Okay, all right. So I just choose these pictures just to give you an idea of not only what we are facing, we as in the lecturers are facing, but also our students are facing. Because oftentimes when we design our online courses, we only think about ourselves, how we're going to present ourselves on the screen to our students. But let's take another perspective. Let's look at how students will learn from what we are giving them online. Okay, okay, so I have a few, I think I always start with questions. So hopefully some of you will have the same questions here, and then some ideas, and hopefully we can, by the end of this 1 hour session, we can try to, hopefully improve our knowledge, improve our skills, enrich our ideas. So maybe some of us have an idea on how to teach using videos or existing YouTube videos or video clips, audio clips. But the challenge is you making those material work for you teaching, for example. And hopefully also some of you might have an idea, okay, we have some videos right now. I have some educational videos which I've made over the years, but how to turn them into a proper lesson for our students. And then maybe we have all that. We have videos, we have some of our lessons, but how to create an online course. Because I think most of us will probably, I'm pretty sure we sometimes kita terdetik dalam hati, macam nak buat online course, tapi macam mana? So I hope we can answer some of that today. Before that, I would like to recap from one of my sharing session, which was organized by CADe also last year, I think October, yeah, 28 October. Last time, how to create amazing interactive videos how to create effective interactive videos. And I would like to recap those at that webinar, the sharing session, in just 3 slides here. First, we've learned that how to actually create an effective learning videos. So from what we've learned from literatures, the data shows us that data here means, so we've studied 4 MOOC scores, 6.8 million video watch sessions, 6 course coordinators. So what they've learned from those watch sessions is that we need shorter videos. Optimum will be 6 to 9 minutes. If more than that, then the students' attention will go down. Hopefully, our videos have what we call a talking head. Right now, I think my talking head appears somewhere in Zoom here, so this is fine. And also, we need to have some kind of personal feel, so it's not robotic. It's not like we are teaching to a wall. We are teaching people. And most most popular educational video style is screencasting, like we are drawing on the screen. Like for example, like here, maybe I want to scribble some things here, so people like that, students like that. And lastly, we need to prepare the video for online audience, which is probably different if we record ourselves teaching to others. So we are teaching others and then show our recording to people in the audience, in the online audience. But we need to prepare our videos for online audience. So that's one. And then we also covered last time principles and guidelines of effective educational videos. We need to put some effort in trying to reduce the cognitive load of our students by using signaling. Here, signaling means what I'm doing here. This is signaling, showing stuff. Segmenting, I mean, instead of putting out 1 hour non-stop lecture videos, probably we need to segment that into 10 minutes shorter videos. Weeding here means to take out the unnecessary stuff. Like, for example, some of our slides have some, bunga-bunga kat sini lah, something like this, and then you have some weird patterns there. We don't need all that. Keep it clean, just to reduce the cognitive load, so that our students' learning hopefully will be better. And then, of course, we need to pay attention to student engagement. Although we are just giving videos out there, so we got to think of some way of how to engage the students while doing the online, watching your educational videos. We need also to, try to look at steps to encourage active learning. We don't treat our videos like a lecture videos je. Bukan kita letak record kita lecture dekat kamera and then 1 jam itu je lah kita ada slides, ada buku kita bercakap. So video, educational video, it's not lecture per se. Meaning it's not a lecture by itself. It needs to trigger some other learning opportunities. So this is what I've got from last sharing session on this. And then in that webinar also, we've seen that there are actually only 3 types of instructional videos: explainer type of videos, screencasting type of videos, and live demos. Explainer is like what you see in TED-Ed, for example, or what you see in there's another familiar, if you're familiar with the 1-minute physics, usually it comes with an animation. Explainer, sometimes we interview professors, so those could be an explainer type of videos also. Screencasting is something like Khan Academy, which is a really popular educational videos out there, but also it's more natural to us, screencasting, because we always work with whiteboards, and screencasting allow us to use that kind of skill, our whiteboard skills, straight onto a computer. So screencasting. Live demos, it's popular among chefs. Contoh macam video Carol Aming semua kan, nak tunjuk cara-cara nak masak semua, dia guna live demos, dia tak guna PowerPoint slides. You know, it's kind of boring if you want to teach how to cook and then you use PowerPoint slides. So usually you use live demos. And I'm really sure that there are some courses in our universities which requires, you know, you to show students on how to do things, how to make stuff, and I think this is also often overlooked. But I'm pretty sure some faculties are really proficient at this. They're always doing live demos in front of students, and this is also part of one of the 3 types of instructional videos that will be useful for our students. So that's a recap. But today, what we're going to do is, first, we're going to look into those 3 types of instructional videos, and I will show you some of the best examples. Best here meaning that it's popular on YouTube. That's one of the criteria that I choose. Another one is used by the commercial MOOCs course around the world, like Coursera, edX, Udemy, Masterclass. We look at the videos they're using, and then we figure out this kind of videos usually are associated with kind of MOOCs course. And also we look at some of the good live demos, which I think can be also incorporated in our teaching. So we look at, I have many examples. So here, I hope by showing these examples, you can get some ideas on how to diversify or spice up our lecture videos. Okay, and then secondly, although there are many types of instructional videos right out there, many types of teaching styles, but I don't think it's correct to say there's only one correct style or the correct method of producing videos, educational videos. But I would rather say that it depends on your own nature, your own style, how to choose your own style. So hopefully in this section here, I will show you the pros and cons of each type of instructional videos. So you can choose your own method, you can choose your own style, and perfect your craft for the students. And then lastly, we are going to look at the what we can learn from the MOOCs course out there. I'm not talking about just the university MOOCs course like our PutraMOOC, but also like Coursera, edX. The reason is because they have a lot of uptake by millions. So they must be doing something right that we can follow, so we can learn from them. So before that, let me check. There's a lot of messages on the chat room. Okay. Let's see. Dr. Sabrina, ada ni soalan ke dalam chat box tu?
In the chat box, he was asking how to get their courses to be in PutraMOOC. So I'm just doing some clarification.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Marsh. Okay. Yes. It seems like you got the idea already. So there's a question how can choose. All right. I think we should cover some of that later on. Okay. Let me put a note here. I think I need to answer what the type of course that are popular for MOOC. I have some data on that one. I'll show it to you later. Let's move on to my next slide, part 1, which is instructional videos, some types of examples. So I've told you before that we can categorize all types of educational videos into 3 categories: explainer, screencasting, and demos. So let's look at one by one lah. For each type, I have 3 examples that I pick randomly. For explainer type of videos, the most popular ones are the animated videos, because somehow animation really works well when you try to explain something. that's why we're using whiteboards, so you can actually draw something, and then it helps you with your explanation, your students. Let me show you some of the examples from the CADe-Lead animation later on, and then there's another example which combine animation with a real person trying to professor, lecturer, try to explain some stuff. So it's a combination between those two. Or an explainer video can also be purely, like conversation to a camera. This can be really useful too. It has a lot of personal touch to it. It will have some effect on students as well. So let's take a look at the first one here. Let me see if I can. So an example here, I hope you can hear the audio as well. CADe-Lead. So before I start this, CADe-Lead channel here on YouTube, they have lots and lots of videos, animated videos like this. It's not long, it's just under 6 minutes usually, and it just tackles some really out there kind of question. Can you be awake and sleep at the same time? We never thought of that question.
Many animals need sleep. Even brainless jellyfish enter sleep-like states where they pulse less and respond more slowly to food and movement. But all of the threats and demands
educational videos
animals face
involve a lot of
don't just
animation.
go away when it's time.
It's eye-catching. It's very, very shareable.
Is usually
if you want to share
similar
on
across
YouTube,
both during sleep.
Facebook,
but during
or social media,
asymmetrical, take bottlenose dolphin symmetrical sleep. Fur
really
seals
well.
might spend weeks on end migrating at sea. They sleep in
if
groups,
you have
but
some kind of, if you have an expertise in
must
creating animation like this, it will be really cool, really cool if you can produce something like this. So this is one example of an explainer video. I'll show you one example by this guy, which I like, 1 Minute Physics. The way he produced the animation is just like he draws on the paper, and then while he draws, he's just recording what he's drawing, and then make that as a animation. So this is a cheap way of
from a nebulous cloud of swirling
animation.
gas and dust, which coalesced thanks
So
to the
this is
irresistibly
one type of explainer video which uses animation. Another one is this is also one of the channels that I like as well. I think that they have a special way of engaging audience.
I reckon everyone knows how to play it.
Number file. It involves animation, a bit of animation, but mostly they interview this professor and then let the professor talk about a topic. This is a math educational video. It talks about how to win at rock, paper, and scissors. One to so. Macam mana nak menang one to so.
Okay, so
apparently there's a strategy on how to win one to so. So this is a mathematics professor. See, it
is beaten.
It's kind of explainer video, but it works this way. So you can think of a strategy on how to do this as well. Maybe have a colleague of yours or student ke,
really,
ambilkan gambar ke,
each strategy with an
boleh jadi juga.
Again,
so this is one type of explainer video that combines interview with a real person and animation. Another one is Another one is hold on, what's happening? What did I press this now? I think I pressed something. Okay. Oh wait, yeah, I think yeah.
Can we take questions as we go along, or we combine all?
Sure, yeah, no, we can, yeah, question.
From Encik Ahmad Fatin, maybe Dr. Ahmad Fatin. We need to see the image and videos ourselves, or can we use the one already in the internet from Google, YouTube, or movies?
If we were to make create our own PutraMOOC course, for example, we prioritize original videos. I mean, the videos that we produce ourselves. What's meant by that, we can produce ourselves, or we can choose the stock free videos. Stock free videos is those videos which are, it's not bounded by any copyrights or whatever. For example, you can get some from logo B. Okay. For example, you can get some stock videos here which are copyright free videos. Use that as however you want. I have an example also after this, how to actually produce this using videos, stock free videos like this. Okay, free stock videos, not stock free videos. Okay, and the reason is PutraMOOC. It's like our product. PutraMOOC is our product, the university product. So we want the content of our course is also original. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to, but if you have the means to do it more sophisticated, like the TED videos, please do so. But you don't have to. I'll show some examples later on some of the simple videos which original, involve some kind of animation, nice videos from free stock videos like this. You can make it into proper videos lah, proper educational videos. So yes, if you were to make videos, go for the original one or get some help from free stock videos like this. This is the website. I'll show it to you later. Ada lagi soalan ke?
Ada from Dr. Asya. Dr. Salah, where do we get all the sources and tools for the explainer and screencasting videos?
Sources? Tak ada source. Sorry, ini saya cari sendirilah. Ini yang saya kumpulkan because actually I've got this categorization from a paper, but I tried to find the paper again yesterday. I lost it. Tak jumpa pula. Kalau tidak saya boleh tunjuk tu. And then kemudian saya untuk setiap kategori ni saya cari contoh lah. And then saya kumpulkan kat sini.
Okay, alright.
Okay. So itu untuk explainer video. Satu lagi ialah screencasting. I think this is also really popular. Screencasting, if you're familiar with Khan Academy, I think I bet most of you are doing this also for your class, where you have a slide.
Today, more than 50
and
people
then
are closer
you
together.
conteng on the slide, you
Easier to
scribble on the
coordinate community
slides.
cities.
Okay.
Also can have a negative
The reason this is
vegetation.
popular is because it's easy to produce. As long as you have iPad atau even PowerPoint with a tablet pen like this, you can straight away do this. And then production value is just quick. You can use Zoom, you can use whatever screen capture recording that you have right now to do this. So it's no wonder that this is one of the first, I would say one of the first, but one of the first yang meletup lah educational videos at Khan Academy. And then most of the educational videos yang technical like math, physics pun guna yang ni juga. This kind of style, screencasting. But that's not the only way of screencasting. The one I showed before, the impacts of urbanization just now, it's
snowmelt that hits
purely
the roof and prevents it from going into the street. Also, plants create shade and help cool
kita
things
boleh
down.
juga gabungkan dengan muka lah. Ada nampak muka lecture tu sekali. So this is taken from the most popular MOOC in the world, I guess. Popular here means it has the most uptake, most students. So it's from the Coursera's machine learning. If you try to Google the most popular MOOC course, this course will come up. Andrew Ng's machine learning. So in here he's teaching linear algebra. What he's doing is the same. He's got this partially filled PowerPoint slides, and he keeps on writing on it, scribble on it. And then from time to time, he will his face will appear, like this, just to show the students that he's still there. That's one. And I want to show you, you don't have to have like a, use a pen and screencasting technique, whatever. This person, Dr. John Campbell, he was really popular because back in March last year, he produced like daily COVID-19 updates. Like he tried to explain the journal papers from medical publications, explain it to audience, to public audience. So masa mula-mula tu, masa kita tak faham apa pasal COVID-19 semua, so banyak juga tengok Dr. John Campbell ni. But then I realized why he's so good at this is because
that's basically a bad news story, but then there's some pretty good news on vaccines. It looks like a good quality.
He just used a camera.
So the B161.7.2
COVID
variant, so-called India variant, first
and
detected
one
in India
is a
December
paper where he just
2020.
scribbles the paper. So he
most common
cameras,
variant in India from mid-April 2021. Now, initially we had thought that there was a lot of the B117 in northern India, which there was some.
This is actually produced not long ago, but if you see his first few videos, it's really, I wouldn't say crude, but it works. But you can see the production is not as good as this anymore. It's better. But interestingly, you can see if you do this every day, then your production value also is going to go up. So yeah, watch on YouTube, Dr. John Campbell. I really like his style of trying to explain not only his pedagogical style, but his production wise. He just uses pen and paper, and two cameras, one for his face and one for the to like a document. What do you call that? Document projector, I think that's what they call it. So yes, Dr. John Campbell. So these are some good examples on if you want to try to model yourself, like I want to do some screencasting videos and I want to get some ideas. Here are some ideas that might work for you. There's no best educational video, but it's just what fits to your style. Do you have any question before?
There is a special request. What is that?
Request lah.
Some of our participants would want you to have another session on screencasting and also explainer video.
Okay. Alright. Nanti okay, nanti habis ni kita bincang apa yang kita nak buat lah. Teknik ke, cara-cara produce ke, boleh je.
Okay, insyaAllah.
Kita ada tim JKIP, banyak ramai orang yang boleh tolong. Kat kita pun ramai yang boleh tolong. Okay. Alright. Nanti kita habis ni kita visit tu balik lah. Alright. Yang satu lagi ialah last one, I want to show you demos. Saya tak banyak guna bahasa demos ni, tapi to think about demos is saya pilih ni lah. Ni tengah hot sekarang masa zaman bulan Ramadan itu. Kak Ruaming ni dia punya video masa-masa ada dengar cerita sampai boleh jual sambal berapa.
Hey, what's up guys? Hari ni aku nak share.
Hey, what's up guys, apa semua kan. But I find some quality in this, how to actually show people to teach people how to do things. So when people talk about live demo videos, the first thing that I thought about is always rancangan memasak. Dari dulu kan, zaman-zaman Chef Wan, Chef Ismail dulu kan, Chef Florence Tan ya. Tunjuk, okay, 2 sudu garam, 3 sudu besar gula, kan, Ajinomoto secukup rasa. So I always feel that it has some educational value in there. Dia macam mengajar. So we can use the same type of skills that this guy is using for our classes as well, especially for those courses which requires skills atau psychomotor skills. Cakap pasal psychomotor skills, saya teringat kita ada satu PutraMOOC course yang kita tengah develop, yang kita tengah bekerjasama pasal untuk menyusu susu ibu kan, untuk for first time mothers. So these kind of videos are really going to be useful for that. Macam mana kita menyusu bayi yang kadang-kadang first time mothers they need a lot of guidance and directions.
So especially young mothers and experience, that will be a very useful videos.
Betul. Bukan setakat mothers tu, first time fathers pun macam saya dulu dapat anak first pun tak tahu kan macam mana tukar pampers kan. So those kind of courses, this kind of video, resipi masak sangat-sangat berguna. Apa lagi tadi? Dan ini banyaknya juga kita boleh untuk community lah, untuk community. Contoh macam ada satu student saya sekarang ni, dia dia tengah buat engineering design, and she is doing design on vertical farming, how to build vertical farm units, macam mana nak take care of all these plants. So it requires a lot of physical skills yang yang susah nak baca dekat slides dia. So this kind of video will be useful. So let me stop kat rhyming dulu. Okay. Use Gordon Ramsay pun boleh. Okay. Another one is this is just my personal favorite. The reason this is my personal favorite is this is demo video in its true essence. Because demo dia tak bercakap langsung. Dia tunjuk macam mana nak buat. Oh, basically this YouTube channel is called Primitive Technology. So problem dia, katalah kita tak ada apa-apa kan, kita duduk di tengah hutan, macam mana kita nak bina rumah, macam mana kita nak hidupkan api, macam mana kita nak buat periuk, macam mana kita nak buat kat sini dia tengah nak buat forge blower. So video dia hanyalah dia dekat tengah-tengah hutan, potong-potong kayu pun semua, cara nak buat benda ni. So it's kind of engineering jugalah ni. Dan dia tak cakap pun. He doesn't really say anything. He just uses the natural forest sound. So it's really therapeutic. Tapi dia ada penerangan kat bawah ni. Jadi kalau kita segan nak bercakap pun, sebenarnya kita boleh buat video juga. So dia tunjuklah ni. So layan ni dalam ni, Primitive Technology. Ada sampai 10.4 million subscribers. Just in case lah kan, kalau kita kena pergi hutan ke apa, kena buat rumah sendiri, macam mana buat rumah kan. So Primitive Technology. Menarik tak? Kalau ada peluang saya nak jemput dia datang sini bagi lecture ke kat student. Satu lagi yang saya rasa kita boleh buat tapi kita ramai kita belum try to explore is you capture the situation in your classroom.
I'm going to tell you why.
Ini adalah satu kelas sociology di University Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, Pennsylvania State University, Penn State. His name is Dr. Sam Richards. Sam Richards teaches sociology.
I think you should pay attention.
His class is called SOC 119.
Korea.
So what he's doing is,
why it would be really
pretty much he just records his lecture session. Tapi rekodnya, tengok lecture section dia. Student saya rasa 500 senang-senang kot tu. Tak payah 500. Hidup 300 tu lah. But this is like a typical American class, American lecture lah. Ramai orang pergi sekali, and then you will attend this once or twice in a week, and then at other times you go to your smaller tutorial sessions. But what he's doing is he's just recording his whole lecture in here, but he's got multiple cameras lah. He's got all his graduate assistants, students to help him with the production. But the reason I think he is able to do this is because in his lectures, he's not just lecturing. He will call up students and then panggil students contoh saya nak tengok. Okay. Ada satu contoh ni in one of the lectures, sociology, pronouncing Asian names. So he will call students duduk depan ni and then interview students itu. So he got a lot of
Can you do it, by the way?
With the students.
Can you do that? Try it.
And
I think I did it better, actually, I gotta say.
so in this case,
All right, bro, here we
it's
go,
like
man.
pronouncing Asian
How do you-
names lah.
how do you pronounce it?
Americans really memang dia orang selalu tak reti sebut nama
The
tak pernah
Chinese.
seorang pun American sebut nama saya betul dulu.
Oh yeah.
Tak ada, sesuatu panggil salah je. Ataupun dia suruh panggil Ahmad, dia pergi tengok yang first name kan. Ahmad, tu katalah ada macam 3-4 Malaysian dalam satu kelas kan, kalau panggil nama dia akan panggil Muhammad atau dia panggil Mod. Mod, kan kita punya nama MOHD kan, dia panggil Mod. Itu semua orang panggil Mod Outsourcing, panggil Mod nombor 1 ni. Atau dia panggil Ahmad, atau ada 3-4 orang Ahmad dalam satu kelas. So that's why we always say we go by our second name. Like my name is Ahmad Salahuddin, so call me Salahuddin. And then so this lecture is called it's about pronouncing Asian names. He involves students in the lecture. That's why it's not only engaging for the students in his lecture hall, but also engaging for us. We want to actually get involved. We felt that we will be really.
Do you know which name that is? I really missed that one. Yeah, that's the.
There's one.
Shiroshi?
Yes.
Okay.
Video that I really want
and
to
which
show
one's
you.
your family name?
This to Dr. Dahlia and Dr. Wan Mazuki.
And you're from China. And is
I'm really
Roshun?
impressed with how they try to market their own course at Harvard. So this one is called case study. Not case study. I think case method.
$25 billion in sales.
Okay, we take a few times lah. Kalau nak type soalan ke apa, kita relax jap.
2/3 of them in South Africa.
Tengok ni lah.
You've become CEO of one of the world's largest mining companies, Anglo American. $25 billion in sales, 162,000 employees, 2/3 of them in South Africa. And 4 months into your job, you hear the news, one of the miners in Rustenburg has lost his life. Yet another fatality. You have to decide, are you going to shut down the mine or continue business as usual? David, if you can open for us today. You're Cynthia Carroll. The news comes to you. Do you shut down the mine in Rustenburg? Yes or no? What are you going to do?
So I think she needs to initiate very detailed investigations into what happened in these circumstances and then what has happened throughout the past.
Are you going to shut down or not shut down?
So I'm going to do a detailed investigation. And then when I do have a plan.
What are you learning? What are you learning in this investigation?
Practices that are not being followed correctly or out of line or could be safer where there's like issues.
People are dying, it's not safe. What evidence are you looking for?
When you get the opportunity to participate, you need to be able to compact the information that you're going to present in a very concise and clear manner. Through participation in class every day, this is something that I am trying to sharpen.
Who wants to get in on this?
It's dynamic, it's fast-paced, there's a ton of energy.
Okay.
Everyone's really excited to jump in and contribute.
Here,
learn a lot from my peers as much as I learn from the faculty, if not more. The professor kind of facilitates, like an orchestra, they kind of direct the music, but they're not necessarily.
In my opinion, what are the criteria of demo videos that will fit millennial students?
Minor deaths are accepted as just
another one is from Dr. Safia.
Shutting down the operation.
Alatan asas. Okay, alatan asas saya ada satu slide. Okay, you can watch this later on.
That's called
It's just I think I'll give the here later on ya. Alright. Saya jawab yang alatan asas tu dululah ya. So alatan asas yang saya ada, okay, contoh di sini saya ini ada contoh yang saya buat. Okay, alatan asas saya yang saya buat ialah ini saja. My arsenal. Saya ada tablet and pen. Yang saya guna sekarang ni, yang untuk contoh-contoh ni, saya ada yang ni. Oops, tak keluar apa. Okay, yang ini tablet and pen. Then saya ada OPS project ini. This is for screen recording, for screencasting also, for you know, if you want to do like 2 cameras in one screen, you use this. It's free, which is nice. I've provided the link there. And I use it's a video editor here. If you want to include your music, if you want to combine a few videos in one video editor, use shortcut.org. Okay, careful. If you search shortcut on Google, there will be a couple weird websites that is not it's not about video editing. Make sure you go to shortcut.org. SHOTCUT. Shortcut. Shortcut.org. This is a video editor that I use. It's also free, and it's powerful. It can do many things. I'm happy with it. So these two are my production. Simple. If you need to use a lot of audio, I would recommend Audacity or Audacity, I think. Audacity. This is for audio recording program. So if you work with music, something like that, I think for music, students or lecturers, they know better. But I use Audacity for just work with sounds. I have this mic and headphones. Okay, actually I have better mics here. Actually, this is just tipu-tipu dia. Sebab ini tak kuat. Yang ni better. It's a gaming microphone I found in my store last year. So I said, maybe I can use this for lectures, and turned out okay. And then I use Logitech webcam here. Okay. Software is just OneNote. And then PowerPoint, nothing really fancy. I'm using PC most of the time. I don't have Apple or Mac products. I'm to the point that I'm abusing Google Forms right now. So semua benda Google Form, hantar di Google Form, survey Google Form, yang attendance Google Form, quiz Google Form, exam semua Google Form. Dan juga Microsoft Forms, sama je dua ni. So banyak gila sebenarnya. I think it's really useful. I think the students really like it because it's simple. And this is where I got all the free copyright stuff. Free copyright, not only videos, but pictures, music. If you need music for background music for your video, whatever, you can find it here. Here, this is the website. Font pun ada. Apa lagi? Photography, audio, you can get video, you can get mockups if you work with Photoshop, something like that. You can get icons, icons like you do for your presentations, fonts, special kind of fonts, colors, textures, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is really useful. I get a lot of free stuff from here. Sometimes it doesn't require you to actually put some kind of attributes, but sometimes they suruh put attributes lah. They kata, okay, these icons was made by freepik.com, something like that. So ini je lah yang saya guna. Dan daripada ini saya contoh saya dapat hasilkan contoh. This is normal lah. Saya ada webcam, PowerPoint, tablet pen, OBS. Ni apa yang saya guna sekarang lah. Okay, apa ni? Okay. And then satu saya buat animation video ni. So animation ni saya tak guna benda sophisticated sangat pun. Saya guna screen recorder dan saya guna
calculus. It's one of the most important.
Saya lukis atas screen tu dan saya record apa yang saya buat.
What is actually calculus?
So it becomes like a really crude animation, but it works. It looks fine.
Of change. It is a study on changing quantities. Well, what are examples of quantities that change?
Contoh-contoh. And then ni saya ambil daripada stock videos yang saya jumpa di website logo beli tadi. Nak tunjuk kereta ni berjalan, ada kelajuan, speed, acceleration. Ni semua saya ambil stock videos yang free tadi tu. All I had to do is just bagi attributes lah.
Filling up a glass.
Okay, and then ada simple animation yang saya guna. Saya guna OneNote ini.
My position has changed.
Also, tapi leceh ke 2 minggu sebab benda ni. Dan saya 10 minit je, 3 minit 50 saat. 2 minggu jugalah. Tapi yang paling lama sebenarnya nak matchkan suara dengan animation. Saya tak
reti.
Buat ni tak lama.
It might look something like
itu
this.
contohnya lah. Maksudnya ini saya guna barang tadi
this
je, tak ada
information,
yang production fancy pun lah.
And then down. And how do you find the distance that you have traveled, for example?
Contoh saya buat macam
before we had a straight line, we can make a rectangle. But now this is not so simple. One way calculus will solve this is by looking at this curve as having many rectangles with
ini pun saya hanya guna PowerPoint ataupun OneNote saja, saya lukis atas tu. Dan saya at the same time saya screen record lah. Itu contoh. Saya tak buat banyak sebab apa letih nak buat ni. Minggu-minggu pakai. Yang ini jenis ni saya buat banyak sikit. Ini saya guna PowerPoint punya animation. Kan PowerPoint kita boleh buat animate kan. Jadi satu animation macam ni mungkin saya ambil masa berhari-hari jugalah. Tapi dia jauh lagi senang dari lukis-lukis. Ini untuk saya ajar subjek space engineering. So ini lebih senang. Saya guna PowerPoint saja semata-mata. Dan saya ada buat banyak math kat sini jugalah. So lukis-lukis macam ni senang kalau pakai PowerPoint, dah ada like arrow straight semua kan.
Given the value of the velocity of the circular orbit v and delta I, change maneuver is expressed as follows.
Saya guna animation tu, yang gerak-gerak tu pakai animation je lah dalam PowerPoint.
Is equivalent to the
and then at the end of the lesson, I post a question like, suppose that you have something, jawablah why. So bawah ni nanti student akan jawab lah. Ni entah student mana dah jawab, saya pun tak tahu. Ada yang daripada Indian University pun ada ni. Ada yang student saya pun ada. Indian ni of course lah. So quite okay jugalah. Saya untuk puati jugalah. And then kalau simple pun, okay, ni ada satu student saya, was not only my students, he's from Department of Mechanical Engineering. He is competing in what we call the material lecture competition. So the way he does it is he's just using one camera and then he shows his laptop and then shows his face on it. So this can work also. So it's actually up to the creativity, like actually how we can. So I'm here just to show you examples. So hopefully you can think of something better than what these crude ideas of mine. Again, my stuff is not really fancy. It's just these. Okay, and then I think I will go to the part 2. Simple explainer videos. The pros are, you animation is always attractive, always shareable, always catches the eye. It's popular on YouTube, and you tend to explain stuff rather than lecture on stuff. Lecture is always dragging sometimes, but it's hard to produce animation. You really need a good animator, good production. And then also usually when people want to do explainer, they use the Powtoons. Like, our students kan, bila kita suruh dia buat video, dia akan guna Powtoons. Powtoons biasanya dia akan hanya ada PowerPoint slides, tulis, no voice, only music and text. For me, it's really hard to learn from those kind of videos. But I know maybe some people can learn, but I think it's better if you have some personal touch. Okay. Like I said last time. So another type is, let's look at this one, screencasting. The pros is because it's quick production. We can always, I can always produce this after this. We can just hit record and then get a video, send it to everyone. Quick. It's natural for teaching because we are really used to teaching on whiteboards, teaching using PowerPoints, whatever. And also is the most popular in all the MOOC courses around the world. Okay. Cons is it tends to be too long. Usually when I do this kind of screencasting, it will just stretches to almost 1 hour. Usually no one wants to stay for 1 hour for video like this one. And sometimes we depend too much on PowerPoints. We think of PowerPoints as our notes, so we put everything in there, PowerPoints, and hopefully students will just, if you look at my PowerPoints, you'll learn everything. But usually online doesn't work that way. You need a lot of interactions. You need a lot of showing stuff here, drawing stuff. And it can be a passive learning, like you just put out the videos and hopefully students will learn from that. And usually learning also works much complex than that one. Demos, teaching practical skills and how-tos is really useful, naturally engaging, because when you are in front of camera, when you show how you're doing, it's naturally engaging. People want to see you doing things. It's not like they want to see you success or fail, but people want to see you doing things. It's naturally engaging. So untuk Dr. Farah tadi yang tanya pasal, you're doing the, I think restaurant service. I think demo will be really good for you. Millennials, I don't know what they want right now, but I would suggest a good production, good lighting, production with really good lighting. Short, not too long. Not too long means that optimum is about 6 to 9 minutes, straight to the point. Don't put too much montage lah, kira. Kan if you start video, you put the counter lah, tak payah lah terus je. But there's a lot of videos out there, macam ML Studios. They are pretty good at producing videos as well. But I would say good lighting, clear voice, short, and to the point. Meaning that it doesn't have to one video to cover the whole lecture, cover the week's lesson. No, just keep it short. You can do it always. Pick a nice day to record maybe 3 or 4 or 5 videos at the same time. Hopefully it will work for you, for our students as well. Okay, but the cons are you need a good recording setup lah. You need good lighting, good mics, and usually you need some other people to produce. Susah juga lah nak produce seorang-seorang. Boleh, tapi saya dah try macam Lodi pula kan. Tambah COVID lah ni kan. Saya pasang kamera saya itu lah. So it takes no more than 1 people to produce. Okay, engagement skills is also important, but we are lecturers, our engagement skills are actually quite good. Okay, so those, I hope by this time I can give you, I've already given you a big picture on, so that you can figure out your own style. What do I want to do to make sure my students are learning or benefit better from what I'm putting out there. Whether it's just your lecture videos or for MOOC courses or for your right now courses during COVID or anything. Maybe you just want to teach public about how to do certain skills. Yes, like last time I've produced a video on YouTube on how to do the SIR model. If you are any epidemiologist here, healthcare, the suspected, infected, recovered model, right? The departmental model, compartmental model. So I showed how to do that, how we get the number R0, what does it mean? What does it mean by vaccine efficacy, efficiency? So public needs to know that. So we can just produce, no one asked, but we can just produce, put it out on YouTube. This is how to calculate that. This is what these numbers means. You can pick any of these methods. What suits you? What do you think you do best? Okay. So I'll take probably stop here for a few minutes, and then before I go to part 3. Part 3 is where we learn from the MOOCs out there. Anything? Dr. Oh, you have 17 message.
Some of the questions is on MOOC, and Kate has already shared some of the
nice.
The recorded,
thank you, Kate buddies. Oh yes, Professor Chia, they still use chalk and blackboard. Yes, and then they will have a janitor by the end of the day clean up the blackboards, and then come back the next day. All the blackboards are really clean. Somehow prefer blackboards than whiteboards. I don't know why. I think it's because when the lighting is better, maybe. Do you think TikTok is an attractive platform for today's students? TikTok can be used. I think like this, Dr. Farah. The way we can do it is to go on TikTok ourselves, and then there's a lot of educational videos out there. It's not really educational as in You can use it for class lah. You can use it to give certain tips like, oh, how to do this on Excel, and then they show step 1, step 2, step 3. That's it. TikTok videos are full of videos like that. I wouldn't use TikTok exclusively for teaching, but it could be, if you want to add certain fun like that lah, teach certain tips, how to find certain websites, and can just because it's really short and it tak boleh jadi efektif sangat pun. Even if you produce like 100 TikTok videos pun susah sikit lah nak make it meaningful. But maybe some people boleh buat. But I would suggest go on TikTok yourself and then try to sift through all the dancing videos, and then hopefully you can find a really good educational videos in there. What tablet pen would you suggest? I would suggest Huion, Huion. Here, I would suggest, where's the, okay, I would suggest I'm sorry. Oh, no, my acting up. I would suggest using, what I'm using right now is Wacom. Oh my God, what is happening? What I'm using is Wacom, but Wacom is too expensive lah. The reason I use it because my sister was an animation artist, so she's got a lot of this stuff. So I asked her, do you have any I can borrow? And then I just churi from her lah, Wacom. But I found out that it's actually quite expensive. You don't need that. There's a lot of cheaper but equally good. Huion. I can search on Shopee or Lazada. I'm not saya tak disponsor ke apa. It should be around below 200 lah. Okay, I've been using this one. This is what I'm using right now. If I can show you here. Yeah, this is small. It's just like mouse pad lah. Then this is the mouse. So this is what I'm using. Can you share recording of this presentation with us? Yes, inshallah boleh. I think Kate is recording this just to share. I bought Shopee. Oh, Dr. Nazirah, I bought Shopee a simple drawing tablet called Vake, around 120, 130. Yes. That's nice. Bought mine Shopee. Yeah, Huion, less than 1. Oh, ada less than 100. Okay, nice. Okay, Power Tools expensive. Yeah, saya tak guna Power Tools sebab saya tak suka Power Tools. Power Tools punya video macam dah terlalu banyak lah. I use my kids as my shooting crews. I would too if they were old enough. Right now dia semua macam tak faham bahasa dia buat lain. So use whatever you have. Do with whatever we have. No fancy software. If you want to use your kids also boleh. Okay, boleh voice sekarang. Oh yeah. Dr. Jasmine. Okay. Wow, got my E certificate. Nice. All right. Let's continue that. I think I have a few more here. I think this is really important also. What we can learn from MOOC. Okay, the point of this part is because when we have an idea, if you want to make a MOOC course, Dr. Sabrina and we always look at this development of MOOC course lah. PutraMOOC course, and then kita akan bagilah beberapa nasihat, berapa ini kena buat macam mana, ini kena tambah lagi, ini patut jadi macam ni. So kita banyak dah lihat PutraMOOC course dan banyak yang memang kita boleh banggakan lah. So salah satu cara kita nak belajar macam mana buat MOOC course yang MOOC yang bagus ialah kita belajar daripada industri. One thing, we see that what they are doing. The reason is because they got a lot of uptake. They got millions of students. And we always only have students of our own faculty. And then each university pula bertanding sama sendiri, susah berbobot student. So kita tengok macam ni, Coursera buat, EDX buat, how do they get like millions of students? Salah satu cara dia ialah macam ni dia susun. Okay, now we get our video part. Okay, video done. We have chosen what style I want to use. Okay, let's say we have a video, how to convert that video to lesson. Okay, my I would say, observation is, I think every video-based lesson needs 5 things. One, the video itself. Now, another one, number 2 is the reading materials for that video. Maksudnya, you have like a accompaniment lah. Maksudnya, you have a video, but you have the notes also for the video. And then you must have a venue for interactions by the teacher learner or learner learner. You must have some kind of formative assessment. You must ask question, even a simple question like true or false, fill in the blanks, MCQ, or even low stake assessment lah, because it helps retaining the information. One, it helps engagement as well, and students are more invested in what they're learning. And then finally is references. Meaning that if they watch your video and then they need to, I want to know more about this, and then you put your references there. It could be your own paper, it could be some other your colleague's paper, or it could be any other videos of yours. Use it liberally. So if I can summarize that in simple words, you must have 5 things. 5 things that students have to do. Watch the video. You must have small notes accompanying the video. Let's say the video of 5 minutes, and then you have like one short summary of what the video is about, what the important points, and then just leave it there. Some kind of forum or chat to encourage discussion, like the YouTube just now, you can use that. You need to have short quiz or short questions lah. 1 or 2 tak apa, 1 pun tak apa. But at least have some kind of assessment. And you must have further reading. Why further reading? Pernah tak kita, when we baca satu Wikipedia article, and then kita keep on clicking the reference. Ini apa maksud dia? Lalu kita baca, and then kita tak sedar dah kita spend dekat 2 jam, 3 jam baca Wikipedia je, buka tab. So that's encourages lifelong learning as well. Okay, so remember these 5 things: video, some kind of notes, some kind of place where people can discuss, assessment, and references for the reading. Okay, 5 ni. So kalau nak buat 5 video based lesson, kena ada 5 ni. Okay, ini contoh daripada Coursera, the most popular MOOC course in the world. Popular is as in mean there are millions of people are taking this, and this is the most popular course. If you search Andrew Ng machine learning, it's always at the top of the MOOC course. So what can we learn from them? How does Coursera organize its own popular online course, machine learning? Okay, this is a lesson for 1 week now. This is for 1 week. This is 1 week. And each 1 week, this is what we call one lesson. Each week they have what I would call micro lesson. Micro lesson tu ada video, ada reading material yang saya cakap tadi. Dan dalam video ni adalah quiz pendek, 1 soalan je tanya MCQ, just to keep you engaged. And then this is another micro lesson. Again, it has 1 video, 1 reading material, 3 minit, nampak ni, ini 10 minit. 10 minit watch video, 3 minit tu baca. Biasanya baca lagi pendek lah. So if you notice, they will have about several micro lessons in 1 lesson. Okay, video reading. Dalam tu memang ada MCQ. Nanti saya akan tunjuk satu dalam. Saya akan tunjuk satu contoh micro lesson. Okay, and by the end of everything, by the end of the week, you must have some kind of summary. This is summary of all this reading material. Put it into one. It could be a PowerPoint slides, could be a PDF file, and I would call this a summative assessment. It sums the whole week. Yang mana dia akan ada 5 questions yang kalau nak pergi minggu satu lagi, kita kena actually jawab 4 out of 5 betul. So this is how they do it in Coursera. So this is 1 week. You have micro lessons. 1 micro lesson will take about 15 minutes, not too long. Doesn't have to be long. But put like 4 of them, 3 of them, 5 of them in 1 week, and then end everything with a summary and assessment quiz. Oh, sorry. All right, so that's it. And then, okay, I promised you to, let's look into one micro lessons. What does it, how does Coursera, what do they do in one micro lessons? In one micro lessons, what they have is pretty much, oh, wait, let me show you here. Okay, they have this watch, this is the video. This is the video. It's a screencasting type of video. Okay, where they have a set slides partially filled and then jonting on top, scribbled on top. And then at certain minutes of the slides, of the video, they put a question, like a pop-up question. You can do this on your Putra Blast using H5P. We have that. If you haven't find what H5P, ask your fellow colleagues. I think they know more about H5P. We'll be using this for videos. Short assessment, just a question with 4 choice, pick one, simple, low stake. But it's important, yeah, although it's low stakes, it's very important. And then these 2 videos, this is all in video, accompany it with a reading material. Read. See, it's just a short one, just a summary. It will probably take 3 minutes to read. And this one is probably taking, I don't know, 10 minutes to watch. So this is a complete micro lesson. Have 3-4 of this for 1 week, and then you can kind of design your course. Let me show you here. So an example, yeah, let's say you are trying to design an 8-week course. So plan it this way. Each week you have 1 or 2 lessons. Not too much. Just one as a topic, tak salah. Okay, 1 or 2 topics. Okay, by the end of that lesson, you need to have the assessment. Tadilah yang the quiz, the summative assessment tu. Okay, yang dalam video tadi tu formative assessment. You want to, form the students. Alright. Excuse me. Okay, so each week will contain lessons and a summative assessment. Each lessons will have these smaller micro lessons lah. How many you want to put micro lessons in one lesson? It's up to you. Okay, 4, I put here 8, maybe too many, but it's up to you. How you are the designer of your own course. You know your students better over the years of teaching. Okay, but I just want to say each micro lessons doesn't have to be a video. It could be any other activities lah. Not necessarily watching video, could be listening to a podcast, for example, or play games, play simulation games, or something like that. Okay, so this is an example of how you can do design weekly courses. So if you have this, I think it's when it's uniform, ya, ini pun sama. Jadi expectation students tu bagus lah. Dia tahu, okay, week 1 I need to do this. Week 2 is gonna be same like week 1 but different material, so on and so forth. So the expectations are there all the time. Tak adalah week 1, 2 lain. Tiba-tiba week 3 ada pergi trip ke Kota Kinabalu ke contohnya kan. It's just totally out of expectation. So if you structure it this way, students will have some kind of expectation that they can follow. So the important is they can learn your course self-paced, ikut masa sendiri. Okay. Dan kita pun tak susah sangat nak design pelik-pelik kan. Okay, itu cara design micro lessons. Okay, that is from Coursera. Now the second one, we need to look at how TED do this. What time is it right now? I know it is quite. Okay, I need to go really quick here.
I've already discussed with Kate Faris. He said you can just proceed. I think there's a big.
Okay. All right. I'll try to finish it in 5 minutes or so. Okay. And the second one, we need to look at how TED does it. TED, there's a website here. You can follow this. What TED is doing is, TED, they have a lot of explainer videos like I showed you just now, animation videos. So it's really nice. The website is just telling you, okay, if you want to create a lesson, just type out what you want to create, what kind of lesson you want to create. Let's say I pick, okay, I want to create a lesson for my student about mythology. Whatever mythology lah, Roman mythology ke, Greek mythology ke, ataupun Southeast Asian mythology ke. So I just put it here. mythology, and then I can choose one of their videos. Okay, I choose this, the myth of Arachne, blah blah blah, and then from the video I design my course. I turn it into lesson. So just 2 steps: pick a video, turn it into lesson. How do we do it? Okay, say we pick the lesson, the video already. Now we need to fill in 5 things. Need to look at the fill out the lesson title. What is the title of our lesson is going to be? Some introduction, short, and like I said, we need to have some kind of formatting assessments. And then we need to put some kind of discussion, reading material, some discussion, some kind of forum, and further readings. Just like what I've shown you before, like the 5 elements. Okay, you need to have video, you need to have reading materials, short assessment, further reading, and a place to discuss. So in this website, TED-Ed, they have all this for you. I've also used this website to create my own. So I can show you an example. I've picked this, the myth of Arachne, and then this is your whole lesson already, which is nicely nicely packaged. So you have video here, and then you need to watch, and then you can think after you watch the video. Okay, all right. You watch the video, and then after that you click on think, where you have certain simple questions. Arachne was a self-taught weaver, I think, or noble woman. Same answer. Okay, something like that. Okay, and then dig deeper. After finish this, you provide some reading materials. Okay, which will take about 2-3 minutes to finish, or even less than that, and then a place to discuss with other students. Okay, for example, here you have 39 response, not too bad. Okay, you can choose your own video if you want. Like I've created my lessons here with my own videos, which I put up on YouTube. So this is an example. Okay, I pick a video, and then I will start, fill in the blanks lah. Introduction, what I need to put, and then whether multiple choice question, open answer question, something like this. But again, TED-Ed is also using that 5 elements that I thought about just now. Finally, we have a team been working really hard on this one. It's from IEEE, CAS, Circuit and System Society. We've tried to utilize or apply the idea of micro learning, micro lessons, using the idea that we got before, that 5 elements thing, to create lessons on machine learning, artificial intelligence. So on this particular lesson is on epilepsy detection using wearables. This is AI for healthcare. So again, we use the same concept: watch video, have some kind of forum, have some kind of quick quiz, and then dig further, and then we just put some kind of weight here. So you can watch this, have a feel of this, or maybe you can try and enroll this, see how well we do this. ml.ieee-cas.org. And what is special is also we provide digital badges for some kind of achievement for learners. So let's say the learner, they go to our website here, they're registered, they take a few lessons, so they'll get certain badges. Like early adopter, if you complete 1 micro lessons, you get this badge. This is like a learning achievement badge but more importantly, you have the badge for biomedical and life sciences circuits and systems, digital badge. So you can put this digital badge on your profile on LinkedIn or Facebook, not Facebook, I think LinkedIn, just to show that you have completed a certain course from IEEE on circuits and systems. So I think it provides some kind of incentive for the students as well. So these are the 3 examples of what we can learn from from MOOC course out there. But if I can summarize everything, I will just summarize it using this lah. If you want to create a lesson, use this concept. Every small micro lesson need to have watch video or some kind of activity, listen to podcast or something. You have a small notes reading material that accompany the activity. A discussion place where students can ask questions, give opinion or play around, even post stupid memes or whatever. It's okay. My students always does that. I don't know, it somehow helps them try to. Yeah, the situation is pretty depressing right now, so let them play. Short quiz, you must have at least that one simple question just to keep them engaged, and then further reading, which you can point out to your other videos or your papers or other website, maybe not related to you but related to what you're teaching. And this is a chance for us to outreach lah more. So and then organize it in macro lessons. You got one whole big lesson, and then one whole big lesson for weeks. Figure out how many lessons you want to have. Figure out how many weeks do you want to have. My suggestion is do not go more than, I would suggest if it's a heavy course, 10 to 12 weeks. Not more than that. Don't try to make it, if it's a really heavy course, like math heavy, machine learning is about 12 weeks. Oh, sorry, 11 weeks. If it's not too technical, it can be a lot less than that. But don't go less than 4 weeks, because then it will not be, well, if you can find a way of how to do that, that's fine. So I would suggest around 4 to 12 weeks kind of course. Any longer than that, people will lose interest, and then your class will be abandoned. Okay, and third one is to provide some kind of incentive, transfer credit, digital badge, or you can add certificates, for example. This is up to you, but if you have this, there will be a lot more uptake for your course. Okay, so I would like to, if you want to talk about an idea, you can talk to us, Dr. Sabarina also. I'm from Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Sabarina from FEM. So we got a few more people from CADe as well. If you just want to talk about an idea, kalau idea tak masak lagi pun, nak masak kan, kita masak sama-sama. Okay, kita tengok video kat ruang ni macam nak masak. Okay, this lecture is part of our initiative lah dekat CADe, inisiatif pemerkasaan pembelajaran global dalam talian. You want to go global, and then if you want to go global, you have to have the global standard lah. And then this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring everyone up together. Hopefully we can be not only berilmu, berbakti kepada universiti dan student kita saja, but juga berilmu dan berbakti kepada Malaysia dan juga global. So harapannya dengan ada perkongsian hari ini, kita dapat tengoklah belajar daripada yang global standard, kita make ourselves the global standard as well. Jadi itu saja. Majulah UPM untuk negara. Okay.
Alright.
Sorry saya terlebih masa 4:50 dah. Ya Allah, tak sedar diri.
Alright. Can we take one more last question? Is there any other questions? Adakah? One more last question? I think tak ada kot.
Yeah. Kalau tak ada pun kita dah terlebih masa tadi. Okay.
Because there's a lot to share. Anyway, thank you all for participating in this webinar series. I hope that you will stay tuned to the upcoming webinar series carried out by CADe. Thank you again. Yeah.
Alright. Okay, thank you everyone. Stay safe ya. Kes semakin tinggi hari ni.
Ya. Berapa hari ni?
Tak tahu, dengar tadi orang cakap bila ribu-ribuan cik. Balas tak nak cakap, nanti saya kena check balik. Nanti orang kata fake news pula. Okay, thank you everyone for staying until this time. Thank you, CADe.
Okay, alright. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Kalau ada course tadi pasal screencasting
Terima kasih Dr. Salam. Nanti saya cuba bincang balik dengan kit latihan.
Boleh lah.
Kita buat webinar yang casting tu kan?
Screencasting tu okey juga.
Yep.
Okey, nantilah kita
thanks Dr. Salah, thanks.
Dr. Wan.
Ada kita follow from the ni awal lagi. Bagus perkongsian sangat bagus. Okay, kita dah off dekat masih lagi live dekat YouTube, tak off lagi.
Oh ya ke? Okey, tak apa.
Okay, thanks.
Boleh off dah ni. Okey.